Usually when warned, I feel a little like, like I've been yelled at.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Probably has a steering wheel on the wrong side, too.
Let's check the options first. Queen's English. Subtitles on.
Yeah, because we don't know what they're saying sometimes.
New game.
During some the events that followed the family so blah 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 blah. Fit to govern her United Kingdom. However,
Oh my god.
Here we are, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Space, the final frontier. I am Captain Frank Lee English, and these are the voyages of the starship HMSS Imperialize. Our mission? To explore strange new worlds, to seek out new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Rousing stuff, Captain English, sir.
You really think so? I was afraid it would sound a little bit cliched. The last thing I'd want would be for anyone listening to think that was going to be representative of the quality of all our dialogue throughout this entire voyage.
Perhaps it's best not to heighten expectations too early on, boyo.
Yes, Jones. A healthy dose of self-deprecation should neutralize the mildly xenophobic nature of the mission we've been tasked with by Her Majesty, Queen of Great Britain and of the Commonwealth Realms.
Yeah, so long as we can avoid resorting to trite nationalistic jokes, we should be fine.
Yes, I absolutely agree, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Well, I'm parched. Who's for tea? Jones, as your commanding officer, I'm ordering you to go make me a cup of tea. 2 sugars. And go easy on the milk. I'll need it for my Weetabix in the morning.
I don't think they provided us with milk, boyo. Just the powdered stuff.
Curse this lack of lactation! Very well. You stay here at the controls, Jones, while I navigate to the ship's kitchen facilities to acquire a refreshing beverage. The walk will give me the chance to familiarize myself with the intuitive navigation system.
Can you grab us a cup too?
I feel compelled to say an authoritative yet non-committal perhaps in this circumstance, Jones. It would be an appropriate reason to practice using the inventory system, yet I fear that such a magnanimous gesture may erode the command hierarchy aboard this vessel. I'll be on my way now, just as soon as I choose to exit this chair. Oh, never mind. I appear to have activated some sort of context-sensitive menu. I should select the appropriate... Now, to find the kitchen. If memory serves me correct, it's just down this corridor, beyond the fourth wall.
Oh my god.
That leads out of the sitting room. I am feeling rather peckish.
Ah! 你個死英國佬，我鎖開你隻手咯喎！
That settles it. I'm going gluten-free when I get back to Old Blighty. Why? It's packed to the rafters with my plenty to share. I'll just get piping hot tea all over my hands. And I didn't enjoy that the first time. That's the radio wave oven. It's the same idea as a conventional microwave oven, except while your meal is cooking, you can listen to the cricket on Radio 5. Mild green washing up liquid. It's for my Rosie Lee. Sorry, Cockney crockery. I'll just get piping hot tea all over my hands. And I didn't enjoy that the first time. I'll just get piping hot tea all over my hands. And I didn't enjoy that the first time.
Examine them.
It really takes the misery out of making tea.
Are you serious?
AM, FM, defrost. It's got the works. It's a fridge. As any reassuring mother would tell her unsightly, acne-ridden teenage son, it's what's on the inside that really counts. It's Alan's mug, isn't it? I'll just get piping hot tea all over my hand.
Oh, nice.
Of course, the downside of having a sentient being responsible for making the tea is that every so often it forgets how much milk to add. don't believe the isolation of space has forced me to talk to the furniture just yet. I can't use these two together. I doubt combining these two will prove to be particularly Best stow this for now. I would do well to study these closely in case of an emergency, like we're stranded immobile in space.
Any danger of making that tea, boyo?
Awfully sorry for the delay.
Never mind, boyo. How did you manage to carry it in there without spilling any?
Well, I've just been very careful, ever since that whole Deepwater Horizon incident.
I don't really have anywhere to set this. You won't take over the controls from it until I finish. Wouldn't want to spill anything over these expensive electronics.
But of course! Why, if such a thing were to happen, we'd have a real puzzle on our hands.
Just go easy. Keep it steady.
Yes. Okay, right. Okay.
Should I touch it?
We gotta do something with the other hand. Oh, the doggy? The bulldog? Hours of entertainment.
Commencing cabin depressurization.
No!
Oh, didn't expect that.
Flight safe mode disabled. Flight safe mode disabled. Venting reserve oxygen supply. Opening rear cargo doors.
Oh, so we should have done that. No.
Guess not. Let's go over here.
Primary starboard fuel cell jettisoned. Life support systems offline. Daisy,
Give me your hands.
Holy cow! Ah! Look what you've done! I told you to keep it steady.
Good heavens! What a waste of perfectly good tea.
I think we should be more concerned about the irreparable damage done to the ship's steering system. Both problems, by the way, are your fault.
Look, obviously, the controls weren't calibrated to account for my superior strength. They were more sensitive than a pubescent poet. Regardless, we'll have plenty of time to argue about this now that we're stranded. Unless, of course, we can replace the controls with something else.
When you say we...
I mean the royal we. I'll sort this out. Don't move. I don't want you dribbling on anything else. Honestly, you're worse than the elderly. If I do that, I'll have to go on a course. I'm afraid I've nothing useful to hand. It's Wales' own son, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. We're a tad under-resourced to be attempting that at the moment. There's been a slight infestation. The lower decks are on lockdown. It appears to be stuck. With great power comes great responsibility. I'm prone to stage fright with an audience. I can't use these two together. Without the right tools for the job, I'm not risking it. It specifically says no rustling. Now, what do we have here? Ah! Good Lord. I doubt combining these two will prove to be particularly useful. No need to start cutting just yet. There appears to be something stuck in the drive. Cutting-edge 20th century tech. I'm sure there's a more practical use for this. I don't believe the ice... Surely you can't be serious. Why? It's packed to the rafters with mild English cheddar. Best leave some space for alternative dairy produce. That's the radio wave oven. It's the same idea as a conventional knife. We'll agree to disagree about that. I think it would be best if I did something else with this. course, it lacks the precision of a mouse and keyboard. Presumably the manufacturer opted for shards of metal as opposed to goose down.
Guess I go back.
Oh. Okay. Maybe you can just go back. Oh, you gotta put batteries in it?
The animators rather we leave it on. Less things to move.
Have you found something to replace the controls you broke yet?
Here, plug this in. See if it works.
No joy, boyo.
What? Is it supposed to be plug and play?
No, boyo. You'll have to install the drivers first.
Well, can't you just download them in here?
The Wi-Fi can't reach this part of the ship. Try getting online in one of the other rooms. See if you can download the drivers onto something and bring it here.
I suppose you'll just be sitting here in the meantime.
That's how the genre works, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it is broke, well, it's probably a tedious puzzle to fix it.
And back out again.
Now, to download this driver, I just need to connect to the internet first.
Fucking dial-up.
Bingo! Found it! Very odd. It won't let me save onto the disk. Gosh, no matter how many times I keep clicking on things, this drive won't become... I appear to be caught short. I've nothing to use. I'm afraid I've nothing useful to...
Oh.
Gosh, no matter how many times I keep clicking on things, this drive won't become unblocked. I'll have to think of something else. The upholstery is made from genuine organic polyester. It'd be terribly brutish for one to resort to force to open this door. I'm... Very odd. It appears to be stuck. It might fit Allard's dainty hand. I've a bit more girth. It's all right. I went before we left. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard. I remember when they talked about keeping BBC Three. The porcelain throne. It might fit Allard's dainty hand. The depravity that goes through some people's minds.
Do you have that driver for me?
That sort of stuff isn't tolerated in the workplace. Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
Surely it would take more than a splash of Earl Grey to halt this ship. The zenith of British aeronautical engineering.
You could always give the control column a quick alternating input along the x-axis, just to ascertain if it is indeed no longer functional.
You mean jiggle the joystick left and right?
Isn't that what I said?
Would you like me to go find you a towel to dry off?
No rush, boyo. I'm enjoying this warm, moist sensation. Reminds me of simpler times huddled in my mother's womb.
Gosh, I can hardly remember what I was doing 5 minutes ago, let alone during my embryonic youth.
Well, it was a lot longer ago for you, boyo.
Hey, I'm still down with the kids. Chillax Holmes. Me and my crew keeping it radical, man.
OMG, feel totes orky for you.
Your sister's studying in Swansea. Been down recently?
Not to visit her. A few of us went camping around the Gower, though. It's lovely the further out of the city you go.
Yes. The further the better. Don't mind me. It's Alad, the Lewis to my Morse.
Okay.
I don't think they'd get along. I fear we may need to curtail. I can't use these two together.
When in doubt, look it up.
I would do well to study these closely in case of an emergency, like we're stranded immobile in space. I'll have to take a closer look at these safety instructions for peace of puzzle. I mean, mind. Peace of mind. I would do well to study these closely in case of an emergency, like we're stranded immobile in space. Why, the humble paperclip, a staple of any adventure gamer's inventory. That leads out of the cockpit. Let's see if prodding this around fixes anything. Aha! I can't seem to save onto it for some reason. I doubt combining these two will prove to be particularly useful. I've downloaded the driver I need. Now I just need to save it onto something so I can install it in the cockpit. I've downloaded the driver I need. Now I just need to save it onto something so I can install it in the cockpit.
And out will pop a floppy disk. So we're going to interact and grab the floppy disk. Now if you take out the floppy disk and examine it, and then you rotate it, you turn it around, you'll notice there's a lock on the back that you can toggle.
I'm sure there's a more practical use for this. Cutting-edge 20th century tech. I can't seem to save onto it for some reason.
Yeah, I know.
I can't seem to save onto it for some reason. I can't seem to save onto it for some reason. We'll agree to disagree about that. I've downloaded the driver I need. Now I just need to save it onto something so I can install it in the cockpit. Fantastic. Now to quickly copy this driver. Whoa! Oh, sorry. Oh, gosh, is that the time? It'll be starting to get dark outside. Best check up on Allard and see if he's dried off. This computer is full of secret data. We keep the intel inside.
I got it, right? Or no?
It's remarkable how much information can be stored on something so compact. Sub-Lieutenant Jones! Sub-Lieutenant Jones! Allard! Wake up! Wake up, Allard! This is useless. He'll be out for hours unless I can think of another way to wake him up. I like the chap, but not in that way. Sub-Lieutenant Jones! Allard! Wake up! Wake up, Allard! Oh, this is useless. He'll be out for hours unless I can think of another way to wake him up.
What's going on? What are you playing at, boyo?
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. It felt like someone else was in control of my inhibitions.
Just give me the driver so we can GTFO.
GTFO?
Get things functioning and online. You need to swat up in your acronyms. FFS. For future scenarios.
Here, install this, and we should be underway again.
You could have used my USB pen, you know.
What? Is that another one of your acronyms I'm supposed to know?
What? Universal Serial Bus?
Ha! Serial bus. I know you're just making that one up.
Well, boyo, I've got some good news and some bad news. Which one do you want first?
Give me the grim, demoralizing reality first, then ensure I quickly forget its severity with a light-hearted human interest tale, preferably involving a cat and a musical instrument.
All right, boyo. Well, the bad news is that before this driver will work, one of us is going to have to descend into the dark depths of the ship to perform the emergency systems reset procedure.
You mean turn everything off and on again?
Yes, but the good news is it's a one-person job, so only one of us will have to do it.
Presumably I'll be the one doing the legwork, as usual.
Well, if you want, we could make it seem like you had a choice in the matter. Here, we'll flip for it. Heads or tails?
Tails never fails.
It's heads.
Blast. I can't help but feel that somehow that was always going to happen.
What fates impose that men must needs abide, it boots not to resist both wind and tide.
Gosh, the writing on this voyage just stepped up a level. That was borderline Shakespeare.
Aye, borderline.
Right, I'm off. I haven't been up here long, and already I think I've started to lose muscle density. On a more positive note, it would appear my bone density has remained unaffected.
Aren't you supposed to be downstairs turning the...
Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
Are you sure there's nothing else we can do in here to get things moving?
Continually talking to me is certainly keeping you from moving.
I do enjoy our little chats. I go, look how I go, faster than an arrow from Cupid's bow.
I doubt continually quoting Shakespeare verbatim will improve things enough to get us that Writers Guild nomination.
There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
All that glisters isn't gold, boyo.
I think I know what I gotta do.
Like putting on leather pants, huh?
I think it would be best if I did something else with this. Triple action. Removes grease, fights odors, preserves one's dignity while attempting to squeeze through a narrow opening. The holy trinity of cleaning. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself. Whilst that did smell like a spring breeze, it did chafe a turd. I think I'd better go carb-free when we get back to Old Blighty. Now, let's see.
Yeah, that would be a no.
Can you go behind the ladder?
It's part of the laboratory equipment the biologist we were supposed to have
In
on
the
board
lab.
brought. The box is sealed shut. Why, it would be impossible to determine the fate of it. We're a tad under-resourced to be attempting that at the moment. Property of Irvin Schrödinger.
Schrodinger's cat.
It doesn't appear to be working.
I think she's
As I said to the boys on our rugby tour of the Netherlands back in... I appear to be caught short. I've nothing to use. It might fit Alan's dainty hand. I've a bit more girth. I'm fairly certain this is in breed. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard. I remember when they talked about keeping BBC Three. It's a precision-engineered German motorized screwdriver. The other toys left aren't nearly as exciting. I didn't think they'd get along. Not. We made that mistake once before. I fear we may need to curtail this imaginative thinking. I'm sure there's another... It has a warmth that you simply don't get with digital. Especially if you burn the sleeve as well. It doesn't strike me as... Seems to be one of those pay-to-win games. I'm afraid I've nothing useful to hand. We're a tad under-resourced to be attempting that at the moment. It isn't great for the environment. Replacement ribbons are a real biohazard. If you could bottle it, you'd make a fortune. I appear to be caught short. I've nothing to use.
Go back upstairs and do something.
Now, let's see. It's an informative map displaying the many high-definition areas aboard Her Majesty's spaceship Imperial Eyes.
Oh my god, don't.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. It's out there. Firecracker, fire, hoses, bullets. I don't care. Not here. As long as it stays up there.
Once more onto the breach we go. I'm sure this'll come in, wait for it, handy, eh? Voila! That should significantly reduce the risk of death by electrocution. Always a... This should do the trick. No, that's... yes, right. Oops, I can be ever so clumsy. Ah well, no harm done. Let's check back with Alan and see if that's sorted everything. Oh, here it's starting to get a bit of creeps. If you could bottle it, you'd make a fortune. I see Allard's activated the autopilot. Call me old-fashioned, but I prefer the more natural look. I'm sorry, I don't believe we've met. I'm Frank, but please, call me Captain English.
Welcome.
Captain English.
How may I be of assistance?
I think I'll log off.
It is now safe to be removed.
I see the autopilot's working, unlike Sub-Lieutenant Jones. That sort of stuff isn't tolerated in the workplace. Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
I don't suppose you noticed anything out of the ordinary earlier when I was performing that emergency systems reset procedure. Specifically immediately once the power came back on.
No. Why, should I have?
Well, I don't know. Probably not. Forget I mentioned it. What is it you're tinkering with there, Jones? That isn't our reconnaissance rover you're disassembling, is it?
Well, but, funny story. While you were downstairs attending to that very complicated, laborious task, flicking that switch on and off, I've been running a variety of pre-mission calibration tests on the Beagle 2-2.
I presume that's why the floor's covered with bits of toy Hot Wheels track.
Firstly, the fact that this modular vehicular pathway simulation system happens to be mass-produced and branded as a children's toy is irrelevant. And secondly, yes.
That's all well and good, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. However, if I recall correctly, we were specifically advised that the Beagle 2-2 tended to function significantly better when its complicated array of electronics and mechanical components were positioned inside its aluminium housing.
Look, I just have to make a few minor repairs. During a centrifugal force resistance simulation, the rover proved exceedingly resistant.
So it flew off the loop bit.
That would be a valid interpretation of events, yes.
Sounds like I'm going to be required to go on some kind of scavenger hunt. What do you need?
To get the rover going again?
For the time being, that's all I feel I'm obligated to offer, yes.
I think the rigorous nature of the, test may have burned out the main motor.
I see. So, I'll have to find something to create some sort of electromagnet that'll revolve when a current is passed through it. I'll have to fashion a pulley system of sorts to drive power to the wheels. Something with a taut elastic band should do the trick, like an alluring undergarment. Now, if I was to remove the elastic...
Alternatively, but you could just always grab me a spare. We've got a cupboard full of them.
Be sure to put your toys away when you're done. I can't use these two to... Yes, there are preferable ways to render oneself hot and breathless. Right, I'll have this open in a jiffy. Aha! That's what I'm after. Splendid! Why, that was very straightforward. However, I can't help but feel if I had my time again, I'd do something different. Oh well, best get this to Alad.
You saw that.
Same girl again?
Yeah.
Looks like a ghost girl. Maybe she's the electronic person.
Let it not be said I don't give you anything, Sub-Lieutenant Jones.
An unhealthy reliance on migraine medication already proves that, but...
Now get this mess cleared up and put the Beagle 2-2 back together.
So I wasn't the only one that saw that.
For the last time, the left stick moves it forward and back. The right stick turns it left and right. Do I have to repeat?
By Jove, it works!
In 600,000 yards, your destination will be on the right. You've reached your destination.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones, we've arrived! The new world! Quickly, break open a container of property of ER2 flags and prepare a landing party!
As much as I'd love to jump onto the surface and soak up the radioactive atmosphere of this uncharted, most likely fatally hazardous planet, I think it may be an idea to send the Beagle 2-2 down first, just to get a feel for the place.
I've considered your suggestion, Sub-Lieutenant Jones, and have made the executive decision to send the Beagle 2-2 down for a quick recce, prior to making our own triumphant descent. The extra time will allow us to properly consider which 19th century member of the aristocracy to name this place after.
Launching probe.
Blast! The motor was a dud. Probably made by a Brummie or someone else from the north.
I wouldn't say Birmingham's in the north.
Anywhere above Enfield's north as far as I'm concerned, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Well, we'll have to go down and salvage the rover. It'll look very embarrassing if we lose another one of these. Set us down. Sub-Lieutenant Jones, where have we landed?
We've landed on an uncharted rock structure, somewhere outside the range of what was previously understood to be the limit of human interstellar travel.
I see. I don't suppose you could enlighten the audience with anything a little more specific.
Look, I'm called Aled Jones, probably the most generic, stereotypical Welsh name in existence. It's clear that whoever's writing this hasn't bothered doing a terrible amount of research. I wouldn't count on anything specific.
How will we go about finding the location of the Beagle 2-2? Presumably we have some kind of app for that.
I'm afraid not. We could download one. Only costs 69p.
69 pence? Not bad when it's free. Right. The plan is, we head out, walk around aimlessly, look at a load of stuff eliciting a series of wry remarks, then start clicking everywhere until something happens.
I'll linger in the background and provide a series of hints if you feel things are a little too vexing.
Why break tradition, eh, Sub-Lieutenant Jones? Let's go! No doubt filled with epic loot, as they say on the YouTubes.
Cheers, Bert.
Don't just grab shit out of my hand, you skinny little bastard.
Look, boyo, over there.
Wow.
By that rock.
We'll trouble you immensely to use another point of reference, Sub-Lieutenant Jones.
Fine, boyo. By that gorilla.
Good grief! That's the second biggest monkey I've ever seen.
I think he's holding the Beagle 2-2.
Put that down, you damn dirty ape! Come on, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Let's get after him.
Really?
High-tech shit.
Oh. Oh look, it's the Statue of Liberty.
a souvenir.
Not so fast, you English mongrels. What do we have here, Pierre? Ah. Well, I see. Well, it would appear that you are too late, monsieur.
English. Captain Frank Lee English.
I'd just like to clarify that I'm not actually English. I'm Welsh. Monsieur English and Monsieur Welsh. It would appear that you have been too late. Mon subordinate Pierre and moi have beaten you and your queen to this rich, fertile, nouveau world.
It's a bit rocky.
Little bit rocky, ouais, petit landscaping required. But soon, the crown you are defecating with your presence will be the location of my vast winery, growing the sweetest French grapes the world has ever tasted. And everyone will eat crepes, wear berets, carry baguettes, ride bicyclettes, and all the other things we French like to do.
You're insane.
Am I? And how are you going to stop me?
We intend to ridicule you into submission, exhausting an extensive list of social stereotypes conceived through years of suspicion and ignorance.
Then what? Are you going to celebrate with a petit crumpet? Eh? Wash down with a cup of tea? Expose your crooked teeth while you laugh regaling this tale with your unsatisfied wives? Ha! Je can play that game, Monsieur English.
By the power of Grayskull, I have the power!
Oh mon Dieu, I can't believe you actually said that.
Honestly, I imagine this standoff will be resolved through the completion of some sort of moderately juvenile, yet entertaining puzzle.
How can you be so sure?
Well, it's got us this far. I fear you underestimate the extent to which a conceited self-confidence, fueled by national historical achievements, can profit one in such circumstances.
We've been perfecting this same method for centuries. You'll have to do better than that.
Well, we could... Look! A three-headed monkey!
Where?
Quick, Sub-Lieutenant Jones, run!
Oh, man! How did I fall with it? Wait, you're right. I am too trusting.
Excuse me.
Pardonnez-moi, I'm a sucker for the blue eyes. What now, boyo?
Well, before we can legitimately lay claim to this new world, we need to remove their flag and hoist ours in its place.
Why?
Didn't they teach you history at school, Sub-Lieutenant Jones? That's just how these things work.
What if they don't work?
Well, I tend to leave that sort of thing to Alan Titchmarsh. I don't want to mess up my spade. Let's try and salvage something, like a spare wheel nut, or a fragment of dignity. Before its untimely passing, the Beagle 2-2 appears to have discovered a rock. I don't want to mess up my spade.
One step closer and I'll have you made into pate.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones,
Aye, boyo?
do you have any ideas how to deal with our continental cousins?
Above my paycheck, boyo. Don't we have anything back in the ship to de-escalate diplomatic dramas?
I can't say I've much experience with triple Ds,
Oh, I've handled a couple.
but we may be able to fashion something on board to distract them. Don't mind me. Lieutenant Jones. Amuse yourself until I get back.
I'll try and recollect the last couple of hours.
No, there's bugs.
Oh, in there?
Yes.
Okay.
I already did.
I don't want to mess up my spade. It doesn't appear to be working. I don't want to mess up my spade. The box is sealed shut. Why, it would be impossible to determine the fate of any biological life form inside. I don't want to mess up my spade. It's part of the laboratory equipment the biologist we were supposed to have on board brought. I'm not sure what happened to him. No one's seen him for weeks. Not to worry. I'm sure he'll turn up. I don't believe the isolation of space has forced me to talk to the furniture just yet. Ooh. Ay, Bendito. I make no bones about how grim that was. That leads out of the sitting room. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself. It really does look nice, and not too expensive.
Fuck. No, I have to go back to the ship.
It's another rock. Sub-Lieutenant Jones.
I'm holding my breath.
No need. You'll have ample oxygen. This isn't Skyrim. Another half hour and we'll be done. Mercifully, the ultra-absorbent litter goes some way to mask the odor. Some way. Not all the way. Just yet. Oh, what have we here? Either the upholstery's been woven from tinsel, or we've hit the jackpot. It's an elegant lady's purse, filled with loose change. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself. While I'm here, I may as well give it a go. Gosh, it's full of the blighters. Ah, these chaps are slippery customers. I can't get a grip of the little blighter. He's too slippery. It has a warmth that you simply don't get with digital. Especially if they're a bit reluctant to let you lift them. Can't imagine why. Preserved thanks to the tireless efforts of hipsters from all corners of Shoreditch. Gosh, it's full of the blighters. I can't use these two together. I'm afraid I've nothing useful.
That's supposed to put him to sleep, but I doubt it.
They're a bit reluctant to let you lift them. Can't imagine why.
I gotta keep it going.
Gotcha! You know the old saying? A frog in the hand is worth two in the biological science testing facility. How convenient. The cheese sticks to his moist green flesh, thus progressing this ethically questionable puzzle. Science testing facility. Maybe I should delegate some of this legwork to Sub-Lieutenant Jones. I'm sure he's as keen as the rest of us to see the end of this. Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
Do you have some cheese I can borrow? That was convenient. Don't mind me. Yo-ho! I've brought a peace offering. A sample of delicious British dairy produce.
Do not insult my palate with your bland, insipid, rotten lactose. It pales in comparison to our superior, deliciously aged.
Oh, now I gotta go get another frog.
Diplomacy off the dining table.
After I'm done with this, I'm gonna log off for the night.
Just gonna nip inside again. Can I get you any
how about the solution to our current predicament?
Look, if I can't figure this out, we'll just Google the wiki. Don't worry.
Google the wiki.
If I can get another frog. Excuse me.
Gotcha! You know the old saying? A frog in the hand is worth two in the biological science testing facility.
We could get a second one just in case.
It would be very ostentatious for one to carry multiple amphibians simultaneously. Convenient. The cheese sticks to his moist green flesh, thus progressing this ethically questionable puzzle.
Yay for puzzle games.
What is this sorry excuse for then? Is that Swiss cheese? A slice of Emmental de Savoie would eat the dash right now. Une petite entrée as well? Pierre, les condiments, allez! Don't let him get away. Huzzah! I hope the little fella's alright.
I wouldn't worry. I'm sure they won't harm him. They're not complete savages, just French. Right. Well, that's the first thing that'll have to go. Ah! It appears to be protected by some kind of... I'm afraid I have nothing useful to hand. I say, it's quite the collection of wine. It's out of reach. Surely this is a breach of health and safety. Gosh, this debate this thing up and moving more, I say. I can't get any closer to the control panel to shut it off. This thing's too dead.
The metal detector?
Is that what that is?
I can't. I'm teetotal. We're a tad under-resourced to be attempting that for the moment. Sub-Lieutenant Jones! Aye, boyo? Don't mind me. It's Wales' own son, Sub-Lieutenant Jones.
I'm checking.
You guys have removed the wire.
No. No.
It's unlocked. So technically that's like... How's that? Blast. It would appear another being around wouldn't kill anyone. It's not that kind of game. I appear to be caught short. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I've got. I'm still Francis from, Doggy. How's that? Best take the opportunity while this is offline to do a spot of rebranding outside. Blast! As innovative as the tactic of attempting exactly the same thing that didn't work the last time is, I'd perhaps have to think of another way to disable this permanently.
at Trafalgar. Prior to being shot, of course. Although, I'm fairly certain I pulled something in my throwing arm earlier, so I can empathize. Quickly, Sub-Lieutenant Jones! We don't have long. Do you have a flag ready for hoisting?
Standard.
Yes. Is it ready to go?
Aye, boyo.
Right. Now make sure it's the right way round. Honestly, the number of people that make that mistake, it's just bad schooling if you ask me.
I think I hear someone coming. Will I hoist it now, boyo?
Steady, Jones. It isn't official unless we play the national anthem. Fortunately, I have it saved on this portable player. Okay, I got it. Now. This land is hereby property of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. C'est bien. Well, pardon?
Oh, excusez-moi. Your queen is welcome to this drag Baron Infantile Rock, Monsieur English. Je suis désolé. We have discovered a land so abundant and fertile that even the grapes we harvest will be so ripe and succulent that even you British, in spite of your primitive, insipid palate, will acknowledge the superiority of our fine French wine. Au revoir, Monsieur English.
I think we'd better be heading on ourselves, boyo.
I concur, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. It was delightful meeting you, chaps, eh? Arrivederci. Bourgogne Chardonnay, 2015. Good year.
Look, boyo, over there.
Why does it always rain in England?
Is that the last defender of faded glory in tattered gowns for majesty?
Well, that completed that. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share with your friends.